Alright, it's finally happening. So, I played this game before, but I never really got like super into it. I played for about 2 or 3 weeks when I was in college, and I haven't played since. So for this revisit, I'm going to be using a Steam account. When the game first came out a decade ago now, I purchased a retail copy of the game, so I did have a retail copy of the game and an account at one point. This game runs really nice. It's really nice, actually, especially compared to some of the other shit now. So basically what happened is I was in college at the time, and I was getting in my upper class stuff, and one semester I got really sick with like a really bad flu type illness. So I ended up buying this game because I just like had nothing else to pass the time. I was kind of bored of the other games at the time, and this had just come out, so I bought it and I played it for literally, I was out of school for like 2.5 weeks. I was that sick, so I just played this game and reached max level, which was 80 at the time, I think. So that's the last time that I played this. I played for about 2.5 or 3 weeks, a couple of weeks when this first came out, when I was sick off of college, you know, I'd leave on sick, and then I haven't played it since. So this is definitely my best revisit candidate as far as like MMO games go, because I literally have barely played it by comparison to the other MMOs that I've played. So that was one of the main reasons that was motivating me to revisit it, because I never really like fully burnt myself out on this. I just had like a weird, you know, kind of history with it, because I played it when I was really sick, and you know, missing all that school got me really behind, and I was really depressed because of it, etc. Like, so it was just kind of a weird sentiment, but that's so far in the past now. Like, I can just kind of objectively experience and enjoy this game now. Bro, this feels nice. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. This is the experience of what I wanted, what I was looking for in a revisit. Like something that I didn't put as much time into, that where like a revisit is like actually worth it, because there's so much new shit and it's improved and changed so much over years' time. So yeah, this feels hella good, dude. It runs so clean. Am I supposed to be like looting these things? I forgot how to play this game. So once I had seen that this game was on Steam now, I was like, man, that's definitely time for a revisit, I feel like. So I also tried to log into my original account that I had with the retail, you know, purchased account, and I tried to log in on, and it said that the account was blocked for security reasons. So because it's been like 10 years, I'm assuming that there was some like data breach or like, you know, password breach or some shit, and they like locked my account so that it wouldn't be compromised. That's my assumption. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because like I didn't do anything bad or suspicious or anything like that at all. So it has to be like something on their end was compromised. And so if I really wanted to, it said contact customer support. I could contact and try to get that account back, but I decided that I wanted to try the game just from the, you know, very beginning again anyways. Like, I was gonna make a new character regardless of what account I'm on, right? So I was like, whatever, I'll just make it with the Steam account, and now this way I can like kind of objectively evaluate the experience that a free player gets from Steam, right? Because I do remember, you know, like at least it's kind of the basics, even though it's been a long time. I remember, you know, like what it was like to be a premium retail player or whatever. So I'm gonna see what it's like to be a free player, and I'm not gonna upgrade the account on purpose for, you know, for the time being, because I want to like see, you know, if there's any kind of paywalls or progression things that you just get stuck on or whatever, where it's like you're going to be forced to buy the game. So ultimately, like, my goal is that if I really enjoy the game and I'm getting really sucked into like revisiting it, then I'll buy it.
Hail, Hunter. I'm the local leather worker.
I mean, if you're into like,
show me your kills, and I'll
this
make them
kind of
into
lore and
trophies you'll
shit
be
too,
proud to show at the moot.
the fact that they have
Drinking,
voice
singing,
lines, like,
and boasting.
that's pretty huge.
I love a good old-fashioned moot. Others save their parties for holidays, but I say every day alive's worth celebrating. Hey, Newt, look at this impressive trophy. Worthy of the great hunt, I'd say.
Indeed. You are skilled enough to defeat your prey, and wise enough to revere their spirits. You are worthy to join in this year's great hunt. By my own hand, I've brought the mighty worm Isormir. He waits above in the plateau for one such as you to challenge him. The great heir Stegalkan watches over him now, waiting for the hunt to commence. When it is time, you and the others will go to the high ground, over the valley. There you will face Isormir, and claim victory, if you can.
I can and I will. This is where my legend begins.
Good. Yeah, so if I get really into this, I could contact customer support and try to get my main account back. I'm not really worried about that though, because I just want to experience this character's playthrough from the beginning and, you know, see what happens from a free account perspective. Like, what is it like to play from Steam as a free player? And then, you know, if we get really hooked on this and spend a long time, then see what happens, you know. But for the time being, I'm going to stick with this account and kind of just give that an objective evaluation of what it's like to be a free player, and then also specifically what it's like to be a player who's returning to the game, who has played before but is re-experiencing it for the first time, you know, essentially a decade later. So that's kind of a unique perspective as well.
That was a waste.
I mean, to be honest, 100%, like, I'm not even sure this is the class that I want to play. I just picked what sounded most fun to me for what I wanted to do, and, like, most likely end up being solo for a lot of it. So I wanted something that was, like, agile and quick, could get away, but also does decent DPS. My first character was a Necromancer, if that's a class, whatever the equivalent of Necromancer is in this game. I think they have Necromancer. But yeah, that was my first character. That was fun, but I'm enjoying this too.
May Snow Leopard grant you swiftness and grace.
I need a
May
moment.
Raven bless you with the vision to see and the wisdom to understand.
Walk with the pack. In the eyes of Wolf, we are all brothers and sisters.
Battle with the strength of man.
Onward to glory!
Pay attention.
What are you waiting for?
What a hunt! I heard about your victory. Very impressive.
Thank you. It was a hard-fought battle, and I'm proud of my part in it.
An excellent beginning to your legend, friend. You know, a lot of folks around here have problems that need solving. A slayer like you could be a big help. Putting your skills to work sharpens them, and helping others wouldn't hurt your reputation either. Think of the glory.
I will seek out these problems and solve them. Then we will see how my legend grows.
This valley is a sacred but dangerous place. You must visit more often.
If I play this character long enough, you know, like to whatever level, 20 or 40 or whatever it is, then I should be able to figure out like if this is the actual class I want to play or what it is that I'm looking for in another class that this doesn't have, or vice versa, whatever it is. So I'm just gonna keep leveling this character, and as long as it's fun and I'm having fun with it, like that's all that matters, right? Like the whole point is to revisit it and have fun with it. So that's what I'm doing, and then I'm just throwing in the, you know, objective evaluation of a free Steam player as like a bonus, you know, value as far as like objectively evaluating, like, you know, like this the typical thing that all the time in chats and comments, is it worth it? Quote, is it worth it? Is it worth the money? Is it worth it? Blah, blah, blah. It's like only you can decide that if it's worth it to you. Nobody else can know that. So that's a terrible question, but at the very least, someone can provide you the information that you need to make your own informed decision on whether it's worth it to you or not. Nobody else can tell you that. So whatever it is that makes it worth it to you, that's what you need to ask people is this in the game? I really need this to be in the game. If this isn't in, it's a deal breaker. Does it have this? Like, ask questions that are specifically about things or mechanics that you're looking for or need, you know? Honestly, I'm just gonna throw it out there right now too. When New World puts up their fresh start servers, like everybody starts at level 1 with their new update and stuff, like I already have the game, I already own it, so I will for sure revisit that in this series of MMORPG or like our online, you know, multiplayer RPG, whatever you want to call it. I mean, some people, I think, could make an argument that New World isn't technically an MMORPG in the traditional sense of the genre that was defined by the games that created it, such as EverQuest and Asheron's Call in the late 90s. But it does have MMORPG elements to it. But at the very least, it's a... New World is a arena-based PvP RPG that has open world like MMORPG mechanics and like leveling and content to it as well, because they specifically changed their game to appeal to more people. That's why it was delayed, and that's why they didn't have enough content, and that's why they've been working on this for so long, right? So
I gotta go. A pleasure to see you.
I'm definitely gonna give it a revisit though. I don't know how much I'm gonna play for. I never actually like grinded in the game because I didn't see a point. Like, as soon as I found out about like mega duping issues and like that kind of stuff, I was just like, nah. And then like, you know, invis hacks and PvP, or like not like no damage hacks, like you don't take damage, like shit like that is like, I'm good. I'll just play something else. I don't have the patience for stuff like that. If it's an alpha test or something, okay, but like when it's your full release game and that's like what's prevalent in the first month of release, it's a really bad look, like no matter who the developer is, right? So, but I still think it's worth a revisit. I think the highest level I got to, honestly, I played like playtest and beta, closed open beta, and then at launch, I think my highest character in New World was like level 20 or something, like 15 or 20. Like I never went hard on it, so I could see getting into it with them adding a decent amount of content. So that'll be upcoming too. I want to do like every MMO that I can, but for the time being, I'm gonna focus on ones that I'm like actually investing some time into as well. I don't want to just like install any random old like free MMO and just play for an hour and be like, yeah, this is garbage. Like the whole point is to like revisit, like, I played this game before. Now it's 2022. If you could still play it, if it has live servers, what's the experience like? Right? That's the whole point, to like objectively evaluate that. And then in this one specifically, having a free Steam account. And then if we stay with this and play enough, then I'll see what it's like after purchasing the game, the full game, and all the content and all the expansions. Because that's my intention. If I play this, I'm not gonna just play through like and never buy it. Like, that's stupid because I already bought it, right? So I could just get, you know, contact customer support and get my main account, but that's not the point, right? We already went over that. So we're gonna see this through, and honestly, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, at the very least, it's more content than I've seen in almost any other game for a while, like of this style. And the path that I took, like the world, you know, where you are in the world and stuff, with my original character is completely different than this. Like I don't remember these areas and stuff at all. Like my guy was, I'd have to look at the map. I don't even remember exactly, but he was like less humanoidy. And I'm pretty sure his spawn region was like, I don't know, I'm guessing based on the map, like pretty far from here, but I don't know actually. I'd have to look it up. But like that's kind of the point too, is I can remember enough about this to like get right back into it and enjoy it, you know? Whereas like if you never played it before, it's still super like simple and easy to pick up and intuitive, but it's not the same as having a connection to the game previously, even if it was only playing it for like a month or less before 10 years ago. That's kind of also the point, like that perspective of like damn, this is actually like better than I remember it, or maybe it's worse than I remember it, or it's like they've improved this a lot. I remember it used to be like this, now it's way better like this, or maybe things got worse, you know, just to see like what's actually the experience like. And I've already done some where I didn't even really record much because I didn't stick around long, you know? So I don't even know if I'll actually ever post those. We'll see. This is also the first time that I've used actual voiceover, like after the fact. Like literally every single video, which is like, I don't know, 150 to 200 or something, because they're not all listed and there's still 140 or something on there, on the channel right now. Every single video on there, the audio of the game and me talking is from the same channel in one OBS like video file, like MP4 file or whatever, right? So being able to voice over after, and like you could like cut it up and move it around, you can, you know, it's so much easier. It's essentially the equivalent of like if I played like a shooting game, like say I play like Counter-Strike or something, like arms race gun game or some other thing, team deathmatch kind of thing, and you're like listening to like drum and bass or something, and then you like edit all up to like just have the good shots. Like the music's not going to make any sense anymore, and if the gunshot sounds are in the same track as the music, you pretty much just have to mute the music, or it's just like a bunch of random like nonsense, you know? So when your voice is like all over the top of something that you essentially want to like chop up and, you know, and you can't, it's like you just have to get rid of that part, and then the whole rest of the video and the audio from that part you were talking over is gone now. Whereas if the video is just separate and you just play without talking, I can edit it exactly how I want and never have to worry about if there was speech or not or anything else. And then when you're speaking, if you record it wrong or you mess something up, like you just record it again or record over it. It's like actually much simpler this way. So probably going to be doing things like this from now on. One thing that's kind of felt unique to me at the time, back when this came out, was a lot of other games and MMOs had things where it was like, you know, the first time you walked into a town, or something, you know, it's like Freeport discovered, and you get some XP or whatever, you know. But the way that this game like put everything on the map, like the vistas, the points of interest, like the quest givers, the teleport waypoints, like it's very like methodical and feels clean to me. Like the fact that you can like enter a zone and have them all like unhighlighted and then just spend time like doing all the quests and doing all things, you get a much better sense of completion when you have like this visual representation of everything that you just, you know, discovered and unlocked, versus like, I think I got everything in that area, I don't know. It just like literally tells you what % complete you are, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, that may not be something that other people like, but I've played so many different styles of MMOs. I like when games have something that kind of is different or unique or makes them stand out on their own, and or things that I think that it's just like, man, this game has this, like, why doesn't every game have this, you know? It starts to feel like this should just be like standard. Like you see that all the time with, I mean, like that's how a lot of things like happen, right? Like fast travel, mounts, like stuff that it's like once one game had it and people were leaving, like, oh, I'll just cancel my subscription to this monthly subscription to this MMO, right? And I go play this other one because they have mounts and this one doesn't, right? It's like, of course, you're the developer, you're gonna put in mounts, right? Like, you reap what you sow, you know? It's like this dude right here, he's fucking cruising, like, just skirt, skirt. I was fucking laughing in my head. I was like, what the hell? I had to take a double take a look back at that motherfucker. I was like, damn, what the hell? Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing to just copy paste from everything else, but then games kind of like lose their identity more or less.
Destroy them all. Hunt with Wolf's pack and destroy the Svanir camp. Force and dimension. Let's fight!
That's how I do it.
Give up now. Save me the hour. Nothing matters anymore. Except right. Good hunting.
My legend grows.
Another thing that I'm having to like deal with and come to terms with lately is just compression, like in general of the files or videos. Like anything I upload is gets some level of compression, like period. Like that's expected and understandable, but when you have like all your settings dialed in and at like you're recording, you know, from one machine and getting still decent performance in the games and stuff, you know, like all those things are all kind of aligned, and then you work on the video and you export it, and it's like the actual video when I'm watching the file on the computer like looks amazing. It's crisp, full screen. It's like native resolution for me, you know what I'm saying? So like it's really nice, but then I go to watch on YouTube and it's like on 1080p. It just looks extremely like grainy and artifacting and, you know, tearing, whatever, all that kind of stuff, like pixelation. And it's like, dude, that's not what the video looks like. So it just kind of sucks when, you know, that's kind of one of the reasons that motivated me to put 4K versions of videos. But by comparison, like only a tiny fraction of views go on the 4K videos. So that's also telling me that not everybody can stream it, which I already know. That's why I put the info in the video body about resolutions, and it's literally has to do with your specific internet service provider, and there's a link. You know, I put in like half the videos on the channel. It's there, so it's just Google like, you know, YouTube video quality report or whatever, and then it'll tell you like what resolution your ISP is guaranteed to provide. And like even people with fiber only have 720p a lot of the time and don't realize it. So you might be able to stream 4K or 1080p, but based on their contracts and like that page is telling you that you're only guaranteed to get 720p. So you might be watching a 1080p video, but you're only like having the bitrate to like have it look like a 720p video anyways. I'm sure that's a thing, because there's no way that it's that bottlenecked when like the file looks so clean and good and it looks so bad online. It's like, I understand that there's going to be compression. I'm not, you know, I'm professionally educated in this field. I understand that, but it's like the difference, the quality difference is so vast, you know. So it's like I have to take that into consideration, you know.
Then offense.
You know they'll find something else to worship.
At least that'll make them more docile. Maybe they can take up gardening.
Avenge me.
That's all I needed.
If your video was to showcase, like, say for example, instead of me like recording playing games and talking about games and computer stuff, like Windows settings and computers and all that, you know, videos that I make, like, what if it was like, you know, something else? Like, what if I was doing like nature footage? Like, you just taking like landscape footage or time lapse footage or something of, like, you know, landscapes or some shit, and then I upload that. It's gonna look like shit. Like that's the whole, like, content and quality of the content has to do with the clarity of the of the footage, right? So at least in this context, if it doesn't look 100% clear and it's compressed and stuff, anybody who plays the game understands like what it actually looks like, and it's like high graphics on your screen, right? So you can imagine that, but nobody like knows exactly what that spot looked like when you were filming it in real life, you know. So, and then if you're providing some kind of like info or input or something, that's also, you know, something that the video quality diminishing doesn't take away from. the information you're providing with your voice or text, right?
I can feel her little tail wagging in my heart.
One thing I definitely need to figure out is what the format for these videos is going to be. Like, is this, 1 hour good? Because, I played almost 2 hours and then edited it down to like 1. But I don't know how much, of everything I'm going to show. What if I'm just like doing boring shit like, farming materials, or, it's like, I could just like put like long videos like of there's like VODs or something. Like I'm not really as interested in doing that, but obviously if there's the demand for something, like there's no reason not to do that. I'm just not sure how to go about it. Like, for example, in retrospect, like making 10-minute DayZ videos is like insanely bad idea and incredibly hard to even fit anything like worthwhile, memorable, eventful in a 10-minute video. It's like so insanely hard. So in a game that takes like hours and hours for things to develop, it's kind of hard to, boil that down to like a few seconds or a few minutes and still have it be like telling the whole story,
What brings you here?
yeah, I could just play a shooter game and then just like edit 6 hours of footage to just like headshots and like maybe get like, you know, a 10-second or 30-second reel or some shit, but that just shows every headshot you did. It doesn't tell the whole story, right? Like the whole point is to like document the journey and objectively evaluate the experience you get playing the game using a free account and, you know, or after purchasing a game, etc. All these kind of factors that change your experience.
Another place to roam.
See, the thing is that I feel like, you know, anybody could just make a quick video, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever, and be like, you know, ever since the game came out, they added this, this, and this, so it's really good and it's fun, blah, 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 you know? But what I want to have more or less is, like, encapsulate part of the experience from playing it so that, you know, you can recreate and relive this experience by watching it instead of just showing 5 minutes of gameplay and being like, yeah, it's pretty solid, you know, check it out or whatever. I feel it's much more impactful to just kind of take it along for the journey, and if it looks like something interesting to you, or it's cool, or you just like watching this game or something, there's a lot more content to be had than instead of like editing stuff out, I guess is what I'm saying. For example, in this instance, I left everything in, like every fight, for the most part, it's like almost everything is there. Almost nothing was edited out. Whereas like in other games, like Rust, for example, like EFT maybe, you know, it's like you're trying to get like the good moments, like the highlight reel moments, like the cool, you know, rare moments. They're either funny or rare. You hit a really good shot, or someone makes a really nice play strategically, or something that is like highlighted, right? Out of all the other hours and hours and hours of footage. Well, the difference is that, like, in this context, it's the hours and hours and hours of footage is the game. That's the journey, right? That's an MMO. That's what this kind of completionist building on itself, you know?
The promise of adventure calls us north, but it takes a fierce and wild heart to survive outside the sacred valley. When you're ready, test yourself against the untamed spirit of Hair. If you can outrun
Now this mount is fucking sweet, dude. I'm not familiar with like all the mounts in this game, but this one is like a trial one, I guess, or whatever, for the free account player. Like, this shit is sick. It looks fucking amazing in my opinion, and I love the jump mechanic, like boosting you. Like, it just feels so smooth and good and fun to play with. This is the kind of stuff that games just lack now. Just little subtle things like that that are just part of the game and the movement and stuff in the game, or even if it's not movement, like just mechanics and stuff that just, they make you want to keep playing with it because it's fun and it's cool and you want to see what happens, right? Instead of like these games where it's like everything is so rigid and predictable and like just boring, you know?
I gotta go. welcome guest.
So as of right now, a positive thing that I can take away from this initial revisit is that I don't see an end in sight, and that's really nice. When you're looking at games and you're like, man, I don't even know how much more I can play this, you know, so it's really hard to record anything worthwhile or make anything worthwhile when you're not even motivated or interested in the game, right? You gotta like find that groove, the thing that you want to be doing that also ends up being something cool that you can make, or entertaining or informational, informative, creating some value, right? So I definitely foresee at least, you know, a good amount of more of these types of videos, or just content in general from this game. So I think what I'm gonna do is try to figure out a way to divide up the videos, whether it's like an hour or two at a time for the upload, or whether I break it up, or like maybe I could do like areas, like this is this area, I do, you know, completionist, whatever, do every point of interest in quest in this area, and like that's the video for however long that takes. Or I could do like level, you know, 10 to 20, like however long that takes every, you know, and edit it down. Or I'm not sure what it's gonna be, but I'm just gonna let, you know, it dictate itself on what makes the most sense. And yeah, we'll be there.